Manny Pacquiao retains his WBA World Welterweight title with a 12-round unanimous decision over Adrien Broner. This was the fight I expected to see, in all honesty. I think it's the fight that most people expected to see. Most people picked Pacquiao to win, as did I. Did I do a video prediction about this fight? I can't remember whether I did, but I certainly told anybody who asked me in my Facebook group. And I think somebody asked me on my Patreon live stream as well, who I thought was going to win this fight. But several people had asked me, and I said, I'm picking Pacquiao to win. Adrien Broner, much younger at 29, but whenever Adrien Broner stepped up in these big fights, he's fallen short, hasn't he? And there have been other fights that he's had, like early on in his career against Ponce de Leon, and even Paulie Malignaggi, where he got contentious decision wins. A lot of people felt like he lost to Ponce de Leon. A lot of people felt like he lost to Malignaggi, even though, you know, the official, excuse me, well, why this is going off at this time. Sorry about that, people. Yeah, even though the official record will show that Adrien Broner didn't lose those two fights. You know, a lot of people felt like he did. So yeah, he's got an issue when it comes to stepping up, Broner. He doesn't live the Spartan lifestyle of a boxer outside the ring. And truth be told, he's just not that good. He's a good fighter, Broner, but he's not elite level and probably never will be. So that was my thought process going into this. And Pacquiao's coming off wins over people like Jesse Vargas, Lucas Matisse, and these were dominant wins. So he still has some juice in him. And no pun intended. I was just using that as a metaphor. So yeah, I expected him to win. Most people expected him to win. And that's what he came in there and did. Broner had his moments where he landed a few counters here and there. But Pacquiao was really outworking him. And he did manage to rock Adrien Broner several times in the fight. I can't remember which rounds they were in particular, but one of the rounds he definitely hurt Broner. Broner's legs wobbled when he caught a big left hand from Pacquiao. And then a round or two later, another big left hand went in and staggered Broner. So yeah, he outworked him. And as the fight went on, he became more and more effective, for my money anyway. Broner was aggrieved by the decision. He was claiming that he won and he was robbed and all this kind of business. I don't think Adrien Broner is going to get much sympathy from damn near anyone in the game when he's running around saying he really won the fight against Pacquiao. Maybe in his own mind, but in reality, he just didn't do enough. He was doing some nice things in there, you know, picking some nice counters here and there. He did catch Pacquiao a few times, but as always is the case with Broner, particularly in his big fights, his work rate just isn't there. Just not throwing enough punches. I don't know what is holding him back, but, you know, maybe it's the power of the opponents. I don't know what it is. Mental laziness. Maybe it's just his style, but he doesn't throw enough punches and it's problematic for him. And against somebody like Pacquiao, who even at 40 years old, you know, he doesn't have the work rate he used to have, he's still got a pretty decent work rate. So at the very least, you want to make sure that you don't allow Manny Pacquiao to be out-throwing and outlanding you too much, because you're dealing with welterweights here. When two welterweights are in the ring, two guys with fast hands like this, it's difficult for the judges to keep up with who landed what. Yeah, a lot of people don't factor this in, but when you're a judge sitting ringside and there are two very fast welterweights moving around the ring, throwing punches at each other, you ain't going to be able to clock every single time somebody lands or every single time somebody's shot is blocked. It's difficult when you're dealing with guys this small and fast. So what you don't want to do is have the other guy out-throw you by a large amount. If you're a fast welterweight in a competitive fight, you don't want to have the other guy out-throw you by a large amount, because the judges can get the perception that you're just, you're not landing as much. It's not just that you're not throwing as much as the other guy, you're also not landing as much. So, yeah, it was what it was. Manny Pacquiao marches on, and he will look to have this rematch against Floyd Mayweather, who was ringside. Am I interested in Pacquiao Mayweather too? I mean, I'll watch it, but is it a fight that is really important in the welterweight division? At this point, it doesn't feel as though it is. It kind of feels like no disrespect, but almost like a bit of a novelty fight, because let's say Mayweather comes back, beats Pacquiao in a rematch. Is Mayweather going to fight Errol Spence, is he going to fight Keith Thurman? Is he going to fight Sean Porter? I highly doubt it. He's going to come back for one fight against Pacquiao, then he might fight some MMA guys or something after that again. But he ain't going to come back and take on the top welterweights, is he? Or is he? We'll see. I don't think he is. But with Pacquiao being as old as Pacquiao is, Mayweather still might fancy getting in the ring with him again for another big payday. If Pacquiao was to beat Mayweather, would he take on some of the top welterweights? You know, I forgot to mention Crawford as well. Would he do that? I think there's more chance of him doing that than Mayweather doing that, because Pacquiao don't have anything to lose, right? He's already lost several fights. Mayweather's still holding on to this undefeated record. So I think he'd be a lot more careful in terms of the fights that he chooses to take. But with Pacquiao, I think he's at a stage where he will be more willing to gamble, because why not? If he was able to beat one of these young guys, that looks good in his resume. That's like an Indian summer in his resume. That's what he's trying to have right now. And I'm talking about one of the top guys, you know, a Spence, a Crawford, a Thurman, a Porter. If he was able to beat one of those guys, that looks good for him. So, yeah, let me know what you felt in the comment section below about Manny Pacquiao's performance. Yes, he's a 40-year-old man. He can't move like he used to. He's not as fast as he was, not quite as active in terms of punch output, but he's still a decent welterweight. You know, he's still world class. And let's see what he can do. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Where do both fighters go from here? What would you like to see happen next? All right, it's happening. I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.